What if the brand new truck sitting in your driveway right now is already plotting your financial destruction? Ford just issued two separate recalls for the exact same bolt that can shear off and send your wheel flying down the highway. Chevrolet's 6.2-liter V8 is grenading itself in 600,000 trucks, and their brilliant fix? An oil change. Toyota, the company that built its reputation on reliability, now builds engines with metal shavings circulating through the block like a blender full of nails. Today, we're counting down 12 trucks that will drain your bank account, destroy your sanity, and leave you stranded more often than a hitchhiker with bad hygiene. Some will shock you. All of them could save you from a six-figure disaster. Let's get into it. Number 12, Nissan Frontier, 2020 to 2026. Let's kick things off with the truck that proves even lawyers get tired of Nissan's transmission problems. Shopping for a 2020 to 2026 Nissan Frontier feels like a smart move. Proven 3.8-liter V6 making 310 horsepower, affordable pricing starting around $30,000, and a Mercedes-designed 9-speed automatic that sounds premium on paper, until you drive it. This transmission has sparked a class action lawsuit affecting roughly 150,000 trucks because it can't decide which gear it wants, when it wants it, or why it's even trying. One owner described slowing down for a red light, then accelerating normally when it turned green. Except the truck jerked violently like it forgot how transmissions work. The engine revs, nothing happens for 2 seconds, then suddenly the truck lunges forward hard enough to spill your coffee and test your seatbelt. The 9-speed was supposed to deliver smooth shifts and improve fuel economy. 18 miles per gallon city and 24 miles per gallon highway. Instead, it delivers a driving experience so jerky that passengers ask if you're learning to drive. Mechanics report the transmission hunts for gears constantly during normal acceleration, creating hesitation that makes merging onto highways genuinely dangerous. Why it's a disaster in 2026. You're paying $30,000 to $48,000 for a truck with a transmission so problematic it spawned a lawsuit. And if past Nissan settlements are any guide, you'll get virtually nothing when it inevitably fails. The Frontier might look like a value play compared to Tacoma or Ranger pricing, but that discount exists for a reason. Nobody wants to own a truck that drives like it's constantly arguing with itself. But at least the Frontier's problems are just annoying. Number 11 could literally crash your truck for you. Number 11, GMC Canyon, Chevrolet Colorado, 2024 to 2026. Picture this. You're cruising down the highway at 60 miles per hour when your truck suddenly slams on the brakes as hard as physically possible. No warning, no obstacle, just the camera thinking it saw something that doesn't exist. Welcome to the 2024 to 2026 GMC Canyon in Chevrolet Colorado, where electrical gremlins aren't just annoying, they're actively trying to kill you. These corporate twins share the same 2.7-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, making 310 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque. Over 55,000 trucks were recalled because the front camera module falsely detects obstacles and engages automatic emergency braking at full force on empty roads. Imagine the car behind you at highway speed. They're following at a safe distance, traffic flowing normally when your truck emergency brakes for a ghost. They don't have time to react. You get rear-ended at 60 miles per hour because of a software hallucination. Owners report instrument cluster blackouts where every gauge goes dark mid-drive, blind spot monitoring failures that randomly stop working, and LED headlight disasters where your lights flicker, dim, then shut off completely on dark country roads. Why it's a disaster in 2026. You're spending $32,000 to $58,000 on a truck where basic electrical systems randomly fail. GMC ranks 20th out of 22 brands for overall reliability. These are statistically among the least reliable vehicles you can buy. The powertrain is decent, but when your truck can't keep its electronics functional, you're driving a rolling dice roll wondering which system will fail next. Speaking of systems failing, number 10 involves an engine that just gives up on life entirely. Number 10, Chevrolet Silverado, 2019 to 2026. Meet Steve Picard. He loved his 2019 Silverado RST until it betrayed him with the automotive equivalent of a double homicide. Both the transmission and lifters failed simultaneously at moderate mileage. The dealer, quote, $8,700, not $870, not $2,700, $8,700 to fix a truck that should still be in its prime. Welcome to the Silverado lifter apocalypse, where the 5.3-liter V8 with dynamic fuel management is destroying engines across model years 2019 to 2026 like a mechanical plague. This engine makes 355 horsepower and gets 16 miles per gallon city and 23 miles per gallon highway. But those numbers mean nothing when your truck sounds like a paint shaker full of marbles. GM's dynamic fuel management system deactivates cylinders to save fuel, but it also destroys lifters by creating oil starvation and uneven wear. The lifter collapses, the push rod bends, and suddenly your $50,000 truck sounds like a diesel tractor having a seizure. The financial devastation is biblical. Initial lifter replacement costs $3,000 to $5,000 depending on cylinder count. If you ignore the ticking noise, the fragmented lifter sends metal debris through your oil system, destroying the camshaft, bearings, and eventually the entire engine. Why it's a disaster in 2026? Trucks priced $38,000 to $62,000 shouldn't require $3,000 to $13,000 in engine repairs before 60,000 miles. Consumer reports and owner forums overflow with horror stories of trucks needing 3, 4, even 5 dealer visits for the same lifter problem. GM issues technical service bulletins acknowledging the defect, but refuses to recall or redesign the system, leaving owners financially devastated. But lifter failures aren't the only GM disaster. Number 9 has an even bigger recall. Number 9, GMC Sierra 2021 to 2024. Imagine driving normally when you suddenly hear catastrophic knocking from deep in the engine. Oil pressure drops. The engine seizes. You've thrown a rod bearing, and your $75,000 Sierra Denali just became a 15,000-pound paperweight. Welcome to GM's 6.2-liter V8 recall, affecting 600,000 trucks, Sierra, Silverado, Tahoe, Yukon, and Escalade. For engines that can completely self-destruct without warning, the 6.2-liter Ecotec 3V8 produces 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. The problem? GM left machining debris and metal shavings in the crankshafts and connecting rods during manufacturing, which circulate through the oil like industrial sandpaper and destroy bearings. Now here's where it gets truly insulting. GM's official fix for trucks that pass their inspection is switching to 0W40 Mobil 1. Supercar oil, expensive synthetic costing twice as much as regular oil, installing a new oil fill cap, and updating the owner's manual. Your Sierra has metal debris floating through its internals, and GM's solution is basically use thicker oil and hope for the best. One owner described his friend's 6.2-liter Silverado receiving a brand new engine under warranty, only to have that replacement engine catastrophically fail 18 months later. Why it's a disaster in 2026? Prices range $58,000 to $95,000 for a loaded Sierra Denali Ultimate. You're paying luxury brand money for an engine containing manufacturing debris that could grenade itself the moment warranty expires. The oil change fix for a structural defect is insulting, and replacement engines failing proves GM hasn't solved the root cause. 887,000 plus vehicles worldwide are affected. This is one of the largest truck recalls in history. If GM's recall disaster sounds bad, number 8 involves a transmission dragged through the legal system. Number 8, Ford F-150 2021 to 2026. America's best-selling truck comes with America's most sued transmission. The Ford F-150 with a 10-speed automatic has spawned a class action lawsuit, countless owner complaints, and technical service bulletins admitting problems exist. Yet Ford keeps installing this transmission in hundreds of thousands of trucks every year like nothing's wrong. The 10-speed, co-developed with General Motors, appears across multiple engines, making 325 to 400 horsepower depending on configuration. Unfortunately, what it often learns is how to shift like a drunk person playing a racing video game. Owners report harsh downshifts that feel like someone rear-ended you at a stoplight. gear hunting on the highway where it oscillates between 8th and 9th gear forever, and complete reverse gear failure requiring full transmission replacement. Here's a real-world nightmare. You're backing out of a parking space when the transmission suddenly refuses to engage reverse. You shift to park, then back to reverse. Nothing. The engine runs fine, but the truck won't move backward. Why it's a disaster in 2026? Prices range $38,000 to $78,000, and out-of-warranty transmission replacements cost $5,000 to $8,000. When the 10-speed works, it's smooth and efficient. When it doesn't, your $65,000 truck feels like a $6,500 beater. Many owners pursue lemon law claims, forcing Ford to buy back defective trucks. The class action lawsuit proves this isn't isolated complaints. It's a widespread reliability crisis. But transmission lawsuits pale compared to number 7 safety hazard. Number 7, Ram 1500, 2025 to 2026. Imagine driving down the highway when every single gauge in your truck, speedometer, fuel, engine temp, everything goes completely black. You have no idea how fast you're going, whether you're overheating or if you're about to run out of gas. This isn't a horror movie. This is the 2025 to 2026 Ram 1500, where 65,348 trucks have been recalled because the instrument cluster display fails due to software defects. This recall affects Ram 1500, 2500, 3500, 4500, and 5500 models across all powertrains. The 3.6-liter Pentastar 4.6, 3.0-liter Hurricane Turbo Inline-6, and the returning 5.7-liter Hemi 5.8. The software error kills the entire instrument panel display while you're actively driving. 1 second you're checking your speed, the next you're staring at a dark rectangle where vital information used to be. Here's what makes this especially dangerous. The failure happens without warning during operation, not just at startup where you'd immediately notice. Ram's fix is a software update dealers can flash, but this recall was just issued April 2026, meaning tens of thousands of trucks drove for months with this known defect. Why it's a disaster in 2026? You're paying $42,000 to $78,000 for luxury truck features, but basic functions like displaying your speed fail due to software bugs. The instrument cluster going black while driving is a legitimate safety hazard. You can't maintain legal speeds, monitor fuel, or detect overheating. Ram's electrical problems persist across model years, and the dead last reliability ranking means more expensive problems are inevitable. Speaking of engine problems, number 6 involves a diesel that dies without warning. Number 6, Chevrolet Silverado Diesel, 2020 to 2025. One day your Silverado diesel runs perfectly. The next day you hear horrific grinding from deep in the engine block. The thrust bearing, which controls crankshaft end play, has failed catastrophically, allowing the crankshaft to move where it shouldn't. Metal grinds on metal. Oil pressure drops. The engine seizes completely, stranding you wherever physics decides to end your journey. The 3.0-liter Duramax inline-6 turbo diesel was supposed to be the efficiency king, making 277 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque while achieving 23 miles per gallon city and 33 miles per gallon highway. Buyers paid a $2,995 premium specifically for this engine, expecting legendary diesel durability and fuel economy. In October 2025, reports surfaced about dealership technicians discovering this defect and replacing entire engines under warranty. GM issued a technical service bulletin acknowledging the problem, but here's the insult. No recall was issued. One Silverado diesel owner described perfectly normal operation until sudden catastrophic failure required complete engine replacement at just 45,000 miles. Why it's a disaster in 2026? Silverado diesel pricing ranges $48,000 to $68,000. You paid extra for diesel reliability and fuel economy, but got a ticking time bomb that can explode without warning. GM's refusal to issue a recall despite known thrust-bearing failures means owners bear the financial risk. The $15,000 to $22,000 out-of-warranty repair cost is unconscionable for an engine defect GM acknowledges, but won't recall. But sudden engine death isn't the worst reliability problem. Number 5 has held the crown 3 straight years. Number 5, Ford F-150 PowerBoost Hybrid, 2021 to 2024. Here it is. The Truck Consumer Reports ranked as having the absolute worst predicted reliability in the full-size segment for 3 consecutive years. Not just bad, not mediocre, the worst. If reliability was a competition, the PowerBoost Hybrid would finish last, then break down on the drive home from the award ceremony. The 3.5-liter EcoBoost Over 6 Plus electric motor produces 430 horsepower and 570 pound-feet of torque, with claimed 24 miles per gallon combined fuel economy. On paper, it's brilliant. V8 power with 4-cylinder efficiency, plus the ProPower onboard system can power job sites. Meet the owner whose 2021 PowerBoost spent 10% of its entire life at the dealer over 30 months. That's more than 3 full months of his 30-month ownership spent getting repaired. Owners report severe electrical gremlins. Technicians can't diagnose. The battery dies overnight even though nothing was left on, stranding you in your own driveway. Hybrid components like the EGR valve fail repeatedly, requiring expensive replacements. Why it's a disaster in 2026? Prices range $65,000 to $85,000 when new. The ProPower onboard system is genuinely useful when it works, but that feature becomes worthless when your truck spends more time in service bays than your driveway. 3 consecutive years of worst-in-class reliability ratings from Consumer Reports isn't bad luck. It's a systemic reliability crisis Ford refuses to address. Speaking of reliability crises, number 4 destroyed Toyota's reputation. Number 4, Toyota Tundra, 2022 to 2026. Remember when Toyota trucks meant bulletproof reliability? When you could buy a Tundra, ignore maintenance, and it would outlive your mortgage? Those days are dead and buried. The redesigned 2022 Plus Tundra has catastrophically destroyed Toyota's legendary reputation with back-to-back recalls for the same engine defect. The 3.4-liter twin-turbo V6 makes 389 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque, but most owners report barely seeing 15 miles per gallon due to chronic throttle issues. Toyota has recalled over 127,000 Tundras because factory workers didn't clean machining debris from engines during assembly. One owner described driving on the highway at 55 miles per hour with his daughter in the back seat when the engine suddenly died in traffic. No warning, no gradual power loss, just instant shutdown in the middle of moving traffic. But here's the most dangerous part, the throttle hesitation defect. You're at a stop sign trying to merge. You press the gas. Nothing happens for 3 seconds. Then suddenly the truck surges forward violently with unexpected power. Why it's a disaster in 2026? Pricing ranges $52,000 to $76,000 for TRD Pro. People paid $5,000 to $8,000 more for a Toyota, specifically because of reliability reputation, only to get a truck less reliable than the cheapest domestic competitor. The metal shavings recall and throttle hesitation that causes near accidents make this Toyota's worst engineering failure in decades. The hybrid models are unaffected, so non-hybrid buyers are beta testing Toyota's catastrophic mistakes. But at least Toyota issues recalls. Number 3's manufacturer tried hiding their problem. Number 3, Ram 1500, Hurricane 2025 to 2026. Ram killed the beloved 5.7-liter Hemi V8 and forced everyone into the Hurricane Inline 6, an engine so problematic that Ram had to bring the Hemi back just 1 year later because Hurricane sales collapsed. When a manufacturer revives the old engine they just discontinued, that tells you everything about the replacement's real-world performance. The 3.0-liter Hurricane Inline 6 twin-turbo comes in standard output, 420 horsepower / 469 pound-feet, and high output, 540 horsepower / 521 pound-feet. Fuel economy is rated 15 to 18 miles per gallon city and 21 to 24 miles per gallon highway. But owners report significantly lower due to constant performance issues. Here's the failure mode that should terrify every Hurricane owner. thermostat failures causing catastrophic overheating and cracked engine blocks. One Ram RHO owner, who paid over $80,000, experienced total engine failure after the thermostat stuck closed at just 3,000 miles. Multiple Grand Wagoneer owners with the same hurricane report thermostat failures causing dangerous overheating. One owner watched their Grand Wagoneer hit 230 degrees Fahrenheit just sitting in line at a car wash. Why it's a disaster in 2026. Prices range $72,000 to $82,000 for the RHO, making it more expensive than most luxury cars, yet less reliable than a $35,000 Hemi base model. Ram invested millions developing the Hurricane, killed the Hemi to force adoption, then had to reverse course completely because the new engine was so bad. Sales tank. That's not just failure, that's a catastrophic product launch haunting Ram's reputation for years. But exploding engines aren't the only new technology disaster. Number 2 involves Ford's emissions experiment. Number 2, Ford F-150 with gasoline 2026. Welcome to Ford's 2026 emissions gamble, where they're adding diesel-like complexity to gas trucks, embedding you'll deal with the consequences when it all goes wrong. For 2026, Ford is reducing the 3.5-liter EcoBoost by 18 horsepower, from 400 to 382, and adding a gasoline particulate filter to meet California standards. Here's why this is terrible. The GPF works like a diesel particulate filter, trapping soot and burning it off during regeneration cycles. If you do mostly short trips without highway driving, your filter won't regenerate properly. Ask any diesel owner about DPF problems and watch them physically recoil. Now Ford is bringing that nightmare to gas trucks. What happens when it clogs? The truck enters limp mode, drastically reducing power to prevent damage. Out-of-warranty GPF replacement costs $2,500 to $4,000 depending on labor. And unlike traditional catalytic converters lasting the vehicle's life, GPFs typically fail between 80,000 to 120,000 miles, even with perfect maintenance. Why it's a disaster in 2026. Pricing ranges $52,000 to $78,000. The 3.5-liter EcoBoost is generally reliable, but Ford just added emissions complexity to an already complicated twin-turbo setup, creating more failure points. Ford is forcing truck buyers to become emission system experts or face expensive repairs. This meets California standards, meaning buyers in 49 other states deal with added complexity they didn't ask for. But even emissions nightmares pale compared to number 1's safety catastrophe. Number 1, Ford F-150 rear axle bolts, 2021 to 2025. Here's the truck problem that could literally kill you and everyone around you. Ford has issued 2 separate recalls for the exact same rear axle bolt defect, and trucks are still on the road right now with sheared bolts that could send a wheel flying down the highway at any moment. This affects 2021 to 2025 Ford F-150 trucks across various configurations. The bolt securing critical rear axle components is shearing off completely, and the terrifying part is you might not even know it's happening until catastrophic failure occurs. Forum user Snakebitten shared photos that should haunt every F-150 owner. The bolt resting on the axle after shearing completely, and threads stuck in the axle after the top broke off. First recall, 2021 to 2023, F-150 trucks for rear axle bolts shearing off. Second recall, 2023 to 2025, F-150 trucks for the exact same issue. Here's the nightmare scenario. You're towing a 12,000-pound trailer on the interstate at 70 miles per hour. The rear axle bolt shears without warning. Suddenly you have rear axle failure while towing at highway speed. Why it's a disaster in 2026. Pricing ranges $38,000 to $72,000. Even with recalls completed, these model years carry permanent stigma. When buying a work truck meant for 200,000 plus miles, why choose one known for catastrophic safety defects? Ford has had 19 recalls in 2026 alone as of March. Their quality control is in free fall, and the rear axle bolt defect perfectly symbolizes the problem. There you have it, 12 trucks that prove modern reliability is a myth, and manufacturer promises are just marketing noise. From Nissan's transmission lawsuits to Ford's sheared axle bolts, from GM's lifter apocalypse to Ram's thermostat failures, No brand is safe in 2026. The common thread: rushed technology, cost-cutting measures, and leaving customers to deal with consequences. Do your homework. Check recalls. Read owner forms. They're more honest than any marketing brochure. Which truck shocked you most? Drop your stories in the comments. And remember, the most expensive truck you'll ever buy is the one that spends more time at the dealer than in your driveway. I'll see you in the next one.